Hi guys, welcome to the Tech Chat where I'm reviewing this little thing. This is the new 2017 Nvidia Shield. It's basically the most powerful media streaming box you can buy. Not only does it support 4K 60 and HDR video, but it can even play full PC games. Sort of. I was really impressed with the original Shield when I reviewed it back in 2015, and this new 2017 model, which is about half the size, isn't actually that much different. It's got pretty much the same design, albeit a lot smaller, and it's powered by the same Tegra X1 processor along with 3 gigs of RAM. So specs wise, it's not really a big difference, but to be fair, it doesn't need to be. It's still by far one of the fastest Android media streaming boxes you can buy, especially since it now comes running the latest Android 7 software with Google Home, which supports 4K video casting, a bit like the Chromecast Ultra, as well as the Google Assistant, all built in. So considering it handles flawlessly 4K 60 videos on YouTube, 4K HDR videos and movies on Netflix and Amazon, and offers smooth streaming from dozens of apps including Twitch and Plex and even Kodi, so I can't really complain. So in the box you get the Shield itself with its unique angular design and green LED strip. There's a solid range of ports including one HDMI 2.0B, 2 USB 3s, Ethernet and power, although we seem to have lost the original's SD card reader. The Shield comes with either 16 or 500 gigabytes of storage, depending on which model you go for, but you can always add extra storage or other peripherals through the USB ports. You also get a remote control and a game controller bundled with the Shield. The remote itself looks pretty much the same as last time. It looks a bit like a mashup between an Apple TV and Amazon Fire TV remote, but it's really simple and comfortable to use. But it's the game controller which really stands out. It's about 20% smaller than the original and now has a Deus Ex style polygonal design, which I actually think looks really cool, and it's a lot more comfortable in the hand than it looks, with a similar feel to an Xbox One controller. But both have microphones built in, are wireless and can be charged via the bundled micro USB cable. Now let's get to the good part, playing games. There's actually 3 different ways of playing games on the Shield. First of all, you have Android apps and games from the Google Play Store. You've got things like Crossy Road and Asphalt 8, the usual stuff you could get on your phone or your Android tablet. And with the power of the X1 chip, they all run super fast at 60 FPS, so it's great even for playing these casual games. But that's not very exciting, you could always play those on your phone. And that's where GeForce Now and GameStream come in. So let's start with GeForce Now. This is a subscription-based service. You pay £7.49 a month for it in order to stream games from Nvidia's servers. This means you don't need a gaming PC, you don't need to buy discs or wait for updates. It's just like streaming a Netflix movie, but it's a full-fat PC game running with the same performance you get from a GTX 1080 graphics card, according to Nvidia. I think it's a really cool concept, and it does work reasonably well, but the problem is there's just simply nowhere near enough games to make you want to pay that subscription. There's about 60 titles included with membership, and there's about 40 more, usually the best ones, which you actually need to pay extra for in order to play. It's a good idea, but in reality, I really don't know who would use it. If you don't have a gaming PC like this, but you say you want to play a PC exclusive game because you don't have a PS4 or an Xbox and they don't have the game for whatever reason, and you've bought a Shield, and you're happy to pay the membership fee and possibly that additional charge for select AAA games, assuming this hypothetical person exists, you've still only got like 100 games to choose from. I really don't get it. But what I do get is GameStream, the third way of playing games on the Nvidia Shield. Assuming you have a decent gaming PC with an Nvidia graphics card and the GeForce Experience software installed, you can stream your games, whether it's from Steam, Uplay, Origin, directly from your PC to your TV with the Shield. So you can relax and sit back on your sofa and play Hitman or Battlefield 1 on your big TV. And if your TV and the game support it, you can even stream it in 4K HDR, like I'm doing here with Hitman. But once again, it's a very cool concept that, in my experience at least, just doesn't work well enough. I have a pretty fast 75 megabit down and 25 up Wi-Fi speeds from a 802.11ac router, which supports both 2.4 and 5 GHz bands. The router, the PC and the Shield are only about 5-6 meters apart from each other, and I have a pretty powerful gaming PC with a GTX 1080. And yet, despite all that, which I think is pretty reasonable, it's still not smooth enough to play. I do get a solid frame rate, but there's just far too much latency and input lag with the controller to play any game reasonably well. I even made sure my TV was set to game mode because it just felt almost unplayable. Plugging in wired peripherals did make a small improvement, but still nowhere near on par with playing at your desktop like this. And really, I kind of assumed I would be able to play it with the bundled controller. I mean, they spent a lot of time and resources developing this pretty good games controller, but the input lag is just far too high. But don't get me wrong, it looks good, it looks really good, but it just doesn't play well enough. But at least it's free, there is no subscription necessary for GameStream, unlike GeForce Now. And as I say, this is all just my experience. It's possible it does work well in a different setup, so if you have the Shield and you do use GameStream, let me know in the comments how well it works for you. So the Nvidia Shield is a tricky product to recommend. It is one of the best and fastest Android media streaming boxes you can buy, but you are paying a significant premium for the hardware and access to GeForce Now and GameStream, which just aren't worth it in my experience due to various technical limitations. But putting the gaming aspect to one side, it's still one of the best ways to stream movies and video, especially since you do get full 4K 60 and HDR support on this. Even my Samsung KS7000 TV, one of the flagships from last year, doesn't support YouTube at 4K 60, whereas this does. So it is still useful, and if you're into using Kodi, for example, this is a good option for that as well. But it's not cheap at around £189 or $200 for the 16 gig model, but I don't think it's unreasonably priced given the specs and the high-end features it offers. But I think for most people, including myself, an Amazon Fire TV box, a Chromecast Ultra, or even a games console if you already have one, will do pretty much all of what you need. So I do like the Shield, but the 2017 model isn't really a huge step up, and there are still some issues, in my experience at least, with gaming, which kind of makes it difficult to recommend, but it is still very good. So I hope you found this review helpful. If you want to find out more or even buy one of these, you can find links in the description below, and let me know what you make of it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chap.